Hello everyone, are we live? Can you hear me? Hello everyone, can you hear me? Are we live? We may have a bit of a delay. Let me in the comments if you can hear me. Are we all live? Welcome to week 2 everybody. Just give you a few minutes to tune in, tell everyone to play along. Same outfit, I know. I only have one movie-themed fancy dress costume, unfortunately. I could have gone mad on Amazon, but, you know, they don't quite have the budget yet for another outfit, Mark. No, it's a different T-shirt at least. Different. But I'm regretting the outfit choice now. The warm, we've got the warmer weather now. I'm regretting the jacket. But yeah, yeah. All right, Jess. All right, Mark. Good stuff. Anyone in fancy dress? Anyone making a proper movie night out of it? Anyone? This is a general quiz, everyone. So there may be some Tarantino questions in there, but this is a general movie quiz. So general too strong. This is a general movie quiz. So there'll be every single genre you can think of, from family classics to Oscar winners, horror, drama, all sorts. So we've got a bit of everything in there. Thank you everyone for tuning in, who tuned in last week and who's back again. Hello to all the new viewers. Hello to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Give you a couple more minutes, give you 4 more minutes before we start. Hello everyone. Team Tarantino's, of course we're dressed up. What are you dressed up as, Just? Same outfit as last week? We back as Uma Thurman? Yes, Steve, you all right, Steve? You all right, Natalie? The James family are here. Good to hear, good to hear. Good scorers last week. I do recommend, before we start though, just out of interest, how people are playing. When you go to a normal pub quiz, you would play as a team. You'd kind of join forces with a few other people. So I do recommend playing by Zoom at the same time while watching this, and playing with another pair, and then you can send your answers to other people you're playing against on WhatsApp. That's how I play along to this. It is good fun though. You can choose to play along to this however you want, but yeah, it's all up to you really. Do recommend Zoom. Yes, General 2's dressed up as the guy that doesn't leave his house. Yeah, aren't we all? I know. I'm just, other than this, it's just a white T-shirt underneath this. But yeah, Charles is back. Shout out to Pat and Bob as well. Congratulations on being grandparents this week, or the week before. Sorry. Congratulations, and thank you for tuning in. Hello to all our new people who are tuning in as well. James dressed up in his goth Floridan Tettery chic. Very nice, very nice. Cool. We're starting in 2 minutes, everyone. If you are playing against other people, if you want more people to play along, do send them the link very quickly, because we're starting in about 2 minutes. Make sure that you have your pen and paper ready, and also make sure that you have your Joker card ready as well. Don't forget that. What else we got here? There we go. Right, so do comment on this as well. Do write your comments on the sidebar here, everyone. So do comment along. I do enjoy your comments, especially when I do make a few mistakes. It's good to correct me as I'm going along. Oh, my mum's tuning in. Hello, mum, and Lorraine. Hello. Give it another go. It's easy this week, Lorraine. Don't worry. So last week, I do apologise. Some of the questions were a bit like a mastermind. So especially the Tarantino round, that was like a Tarantino round on mastermind. So. This round has changed a little bit. We do have a themed round this week. We actually have a few themed rounds, actually. It's not just general knowledge. We have a few. I'll get into that later on. We're going to start in about 1 minute, everyone. So last rules, everyone, get everyone to come along. Grab your last drink. I'm currently drinking this week. I'm drinking a nice little Brewdog and Cloudwater collab. There we go. New England IPA. Very nice. What are you all drinking, everyone? I'm pretty sure the booze industry is doing very well out of this lockdown. If anything's to go by like Marshall bin. But anyway. Right, I'm going to start in 1 minute, everyone. Get that link sent to your anyone else you want to play against. Tell them quickly. Charles on the gin. Any tonic with that gin, Charles? Right. Mum and Dad on the red wine. Lorraine's on the Bacardi and Coke. George is locked in with his Joker card, hoping to play in one of these rounds. And yes, Steve, I wouldn't mind a bit of sponsorship. So if you know any breweries out there that want to kind of chuck a few this way, there is always a very thirsty quizmaster sat right here. You can see I changed the sign this week, the Lock-In Pub. So if you do want to follow the page on Facebook for all the updates of when the events will be, do follow the page on Facebook. I might change the time for next week to 7 o'clock just because next week is the start of Beats the Chasers, which will be stripped across the week on ITV, which I was part of. So I do want to see that. So I might start the quiz a little bit earlier next week just so I can watch that as well. And I hope you all tune in as well because it's going to be pretty epic. I've seen the first episode and it is a quiz show like no other. If you remember when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire first started, it's like that. It's epic. All the chasers, Bradley Walsh, people coming on down out the audience. It is incredible. So what are the rounds? I'll get into that later, Mark. I will get into that later. We'll tell you before we play that. Jamie's on the Pinot Noir. They're very nice. Donna's, hello, Mark and Donna and Charlotte are ready. Nice, good to hear. Daniel Burke, here we go. Danny, good to see you. Let's get ready to rumble. Right, so 5 past, let's get this party started. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the second week of Quarantine Tarantino, or as I'm calling it, Quarantarantino Volume 2. The movie pub quiz in your living room, bedroom, bathroom, or wherever you choose to watch it. I am your host, Jamie Fisher, and you can follow me on Instagram at Jamie Fisher TV if you want to follow my quest to find the real-life Big Kahuna Burger, which is currently not going very well, as you can imagine. Now, a few rules before we start. The first rule of Quarantine Tarantino is you don't talk about Quarantine Tarantino. And no, seriously, please do, because I need the viewers. Now, this isn't Fight Club. There are 5 rounds in total. Each of the 10 questions in each of the rounds are worth 1 point each. There are no half points in this quiz. However, you all have a Joker card up your sleeve. Now, you can only play this Joker card once, but what this Joker card means is it means that you get double points for that round, and you must declare to play that Joker card before the round begins. Now, don't worry, Mark. I will tell you what that round will be, and Mum, I will tell you what that round will be as well. I can see you in the comments section, so don't you worry about that. Now, a few housekeeping rules as well. Do not write the answers in the comment section. Even if they are fake and you're trying to throw people off, please don't do it. And also, let's keep the comments clean as well, please. Even if I do mix up my Dennis Hoppers with my Dustin Hoffmans like I did last week. Now, I'm going to read out every single question twice. And I'll have a quick recap of the questions before moving on to the next round. I'll read out the questions first, 3 rounds first. Then before going on to the answers, and then I'll read out the last 2 rounds after that, so we can find out who the winners are. So just a quick shout out. So big congratulations to last week's champion, which was Charlie London. That's not Charlie from London. His name's actually Charlie London. So congratulations. I do believe he's not on a YouTube account or on Facebook account, so we won't know what his scores are unless his friends are tuned in again this week. Hopefully he's still here. And also in second place last week was Team Vicky, Lisa, Hayley, Ayin, and Ed, who came second. And then joint third was Steve Metzton and Miguel Sides. Steve's not playing this week. He's working. He's a key worker. So big shout out to him. He's a key worker, still working. So maybe, Miguel, you might be able to come third on your own this week. You never know. All right. So I'm sure you want to know what your rounds are. So here we go. Not quite got the budget for a real drum roll. But anyway, so first round will be dialogue. It's going to be famous lines from iconic films. Don't worry about playing your Joker card just yet. I'll tell you when to play that later on. Second round will be movie characters. Third round is going to be general knowledge, but with a slight theme to it. Round 4 is going to be the genre rounds, and the genre is isolation films. Yes, it's only fitting. We're all in isolation, and I've got a nice isolation genre round for you. And finally, the final round is the film credits. That's what else would you expect at the end of the quiz? We got a nice movie, and then we've got the credits at the end. So there we go. Right. I've come here to chew bubblegum and quiz ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. So let's get the quiz started. Right. So firstly, round 1 is called the opening scene. Now, this round is just like our final round last week, except the movie quotes will be the opening lines of iconic films. I'll read out the lines and attempt to give an Oscar-winning performance. You just need to tell me what film it comes from. Now, some of these quotes may have some colourful language in. So, if there are any little people in the room, and I'm not talking about my brother Charlie, I'm talking about anyone with kids, quickly tell them there's chocolate hidden in their bedroom so they can see if they can find it. Right. With that being said, anyone who wants to play their Joker card on this first round for opening quotes of iconic films, play your Joker card now. Anyone who wants to play their Joker card for double points on the quotes round, tell your friends that you're playing it now. Right in the comment section, send it on the WhatsApp group. There's even a nice Joker emoji you can send people. You don't have to look at the person next to you and go, why are you so serious? You can do that if you want to. I always do enjoy doing that. Here we go. Yes, Charles, going in with a joke. That's what I like to see. Right, give you the last 5-second countdown for your final warning before we go through it. You ready? Good stuff. Right, so no more Jokers going in now. Right, so excuse me if this ends up more like a Tesco's value version of Ryan Gosling, but here we go with the first quote. So, here we go, everyone. Steve's going in with his Joker. Okay, then. Right, first question. Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. Choose a fucking big television. Choose washing machines, cars, compact disc players, and electrical tin openers. Choose good health, low cholesterol, and dental insurance. Choose fixed interest mortgage repayments. Choose a starter home. Choose your friends. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage. Choose a three-piece suit and hire purchased in a range of fucking fabrics. Choose DIY and wondering who the fuck are you on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting on that couch watching mind-numbing, spirit-crushing game shows, stuffing fucking junk food in your mouth. Choose rotting away at the end of it all, pissing your last in a miserable home. Nothing more than an embarrassment to the selfish, fucked up brats that you're born to replace yourself. Choose a future, choose life. But why would I want to do a thing like that? I chose not to choose life. I chose something else. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got heroin? Quite a big quote there. So there we go. Mark would like a repeat on that. So I'm going to simply repeat the first 3 lines. So it's choose life, choose a job, choose a career. So there we go. So that's the first question. Quite an iconic one there. Moving on to question 2. It all began on New Year's Day in my 32nd year of being single. Once again, I found myself on my own and going to my mother's annual turkey curry buffet. I'll repeat that again. Question 2. It all began on New Year's Day in my 32nd year of being single. Once again, I found myself on my own and going to my mother's annual turkey Christmas buffet. Question 3. 3 billion human lives ended on August 29th, 1997. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. Repeat that again. Question 3. 3 billion human lives ended on August 29th, 1997. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. Question 4. Did you know that there are more people with genius IQs living in China than there are people of any kind living in the United States? Question 4 again. Did you know that there are more people living, I'll repeat again. Did you know that there are more people with genius IQs living in China than there are people of any kind living in the United States? Whatever you do, people, do not put any bleach into your injections. Do not inject bleach if you've been watching the news today. Right. Question 5. What came first, the music or the misery? People worry about kids playing with guns or watching violent videos. That sort of culture of violence will take them over. Nobody worries about kids listening to thousands, literally thousands of songs about heartbreak, rejection, pain, misery, and loss. Did I listen to pop music because I was miserable? Or was I miserable because I listened to pop music? Question 5 again, I'll repeat that. What came first, the music or the misery? People worry about kids playing with guns or watching violent videos. That sort of culture of violence will take them over. Nobody worries about kids listening to thousands, literally thousands of songs about heartbreak, rejection, pain, misery, and loss. Did I listen to pop music because I was miserable? Or was I miserable because I listened to pop music? That was question 5. Question 6. I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that? Repeat that again. I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that? That's question 6. Question number 7. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of civil war. Spaceships, striking from a hidden base, have won their first victory against the evil galactic empire. Question 7 again. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships, striking from a hidden base, have won their first victory against the evil galactic empire. Question number 8. My name is Turkish. Funny name for an Englishman, I know. Question number 8 again. My name is Turkish. Funny name for an Englishman, I know. Okay, question number 9. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. Question 9 again. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. And finally, question 10 of the first round. There are 100. I'll repeat that again. So question number 10 again. There's 100,000 streets in this city. You don't need to know the route. You give me a time and a place, and I give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes, and I'm yours, no matter what. Anything happens a minute either side of that, and you're on your own. Do you understand? Repeat that again. Gemma's smiling on that one. I think he's got it. Question 10 again. There's 100,000 streets in the city. You don't need to know the route. You give me a time and a place. I give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes, and I'm yours, no matter what. Anything happens a minute either side of that, and you're on your own. Do you understand? All right, so that's the end of the first round. I'm going to quickly recap that. So first question was choose life. Second question was the turkey curry buffet. Question 3 was the 3 billion lives that ended on August 29th, 1997. Question 4 was the more people living in China with genius IQs than there are in all of people living in the United States. Question 5 was the pop music and misery question. Number 6 was the Gunnery Sergeant Hartman one, the senior drill instructor. Question 7 was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Question 8, my name is Turkish, funny name for an Englishman I know. Question number 9, once upon a time in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. And finally, question 10 was to do with there's 100,000 streets in this city. I'm not sure about the fact about China there, George. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was a quote at the beginning. And it comes from a character that you'd seen would be a trusted source. But then again, these days, that has been proven not to be the case. Anyway, that might have been too big a clue there. Anyway, so moving on to round 2. So round 2 is called The Usual Suspects. Now, just like the Know Your Role round last week, I'm going to list a series of movie characters. All you need to do is tell me the actor or actress who played those roles. Now, you need their full name in order to score points here. No half points like I mentioned before. So I'm going to list 5 characters in total. You've got to tell me the actor or actress who played those roles. anyone who wants to play your Joker card on the usual suspects, play your Joker card now. So anyone who wants to play their Joker card, send your emojis to your WhatsApp groups. Tell your friends on Zoom. Write in the comment section. Yeah, Jess and Dan are playing their Joker. Stefan's playing his Joker. Oh, so we've also got Mum and Dad and Nick playing as well. All good stuff. There's lots of people playing Joker cards. The James family is playing their Joker card. Great to hear. Right, this is your 5-second warning. People might have liked this round last week. That's probably why they chose this as the round. Right, good stuff. Right, so let's get started with the first question of the usual suspects. Question 1. Sean Archer, Tony Manero, Vincent Vega, Danny Zuko, and Bolt. Question 1 again. Sean Archer, Tony Manero, Vincent Vega, Danny Zuko, and Bolt. Good stuff. Right. Question number 2. Mystique, Mother, Katniss Everdeen, Joy, and Tiffany Maxwell. Repeat those again. Mystique, aka Raven, Mother, Katniss Everdeen, Joy, and Tiffany Maxwell. Gemma knows it, but she can't get it. I can see her face. She didn't even see me do the hand signal either. Right. Question number 3. John Roof, Snake Plissken, RJ McReady, Jack Burton, and Mr. Nobody. Say question 3 again. John Roof, Snake Plissken, RJ McReady, Jack Burton, and Mr. Nobody. Yeah, Danny wishes to play these Joker now. But don't worry, there's some good rounds coming. Question number 4. P.T. Burnham, Keller Dover, Logan, Jean Valjean, and Van Helsing. Say number 4 again. P.T. Burnham, Keller Dover, Logan, aka, and I'm not even going to give you the aka, that one is too obvious, Jean Valjean, and Van Helsing. Van Halen, sorry. All right. Right. Going on to question 5. Question 5, we have Marianne Dashwood, Rose Derwitt Bukater, aka Rose Dawson, how she's better known at the end of the film, Hannah Schmidt, April Wheeler, and Clementine Kruzinski. I'll say those again. We have Marianne Dashwood, Rose Derwitt Bukater, who's later known at the end of the film as Rose Dawson, Hannah Schmidt, April Wheeler, and Clementine Kruzinski. Question 6. Elijah Price, John Shaft, Mace Windu, Nick Fury, and Stephen. Question 6 again. That's Elijah Price, John Shaft, Mace Windu, Nick Fury, and Stephen. Danny's wishing he played his Joker now, isn't he? Right. Question number 7. Robert Langdon, Richard Phillips, Chuck Noland, Sam Baldwin, and Captain Miller. Say number 7 again. That's Robert Langdon, Richard Phillips, Chuck Noland, Sam Baldwin, and Captain Miller. Question number 8. Romeo, Jay Gatsby, Jordan Belfort, Howard Hughes, and Hugh Glass. Every time I read that, I keep reading huge ass, like The Simpsons. Is there a huge ass here? All right. Question number 8 again. Romeo, Jay Gatsby, Jordan Belfort, Howard Hughes, and Hugh Glass. Question number 9. Khan, or Khan Noonan Singh, if you want me to say their full name. Alan Turing, The Grinch, Smaug, and Dr. Stephen Strange. Number 9 again. That's Khan, Alan Turing, The Grinch, Smaug, and Dr. Stephen Strange. Question number 10. Final question of this round. Howard Ratner, Billy Madison, Robbie Hart, Barry Egan, and Happy Gilmore. Give you question 10 again. That's Howard Ratner, Billy Madison, Robbie Hart, Barry Egan, and Happy Gilmore. All right. Send your answers to your friends now. Send them out. If you're playing against anyone, lock in your answers. A few people reckon 10 out of 10 there. 8. Yeah, it was a good round, that one. Yeah, I've changed it a little bit since last week. It's no longer mastermind, everyone. So hopefully we're going to get some good scores this week. I'm hoping good scores will be tight at the top, I'm hoping. Right. Round 3. I'll give you the answers to the first 3 rounds after I finish this round, so don't worry about that. And this round is called Reservoir Dogs. Here we go. So don't worry, it's not another Tarantino round. I hear some of you grumbling. Don't worry about that. But I'll tell you what that is now. So, all right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. This round takes inspiration from the characters' nicknames in Reservoir Dogs, as each answer has a colour in it. I want the full answer to each question, not just the colour. Yeah? All the questions are general knowledge, but some well-educated guesswork can go a long way in this round. So just bear in mind the whole time that every single question will have a colour in there somewhere, yeah, in the wordings. Right. So, everyone, if you want to play your Joker on this round, bear in mind there's the extra clue of there possibly being a colour as well as the actual question itself, as it's general knowledge. Lock in your Jokers now. Anyone who wants to play their Joker, lock in your Joker now. Give you a couple of seconds, as it takes a while to find that Joker emoji, I know. You have to scroll to the whole end of the keyboard to find it. Give you a while, 5 seconds. Right, everyone. Cool. So, bear in mind, every single question here has a colour in some part of the answer. Remember, I want the full answer, not just the colour. I want the full answer, yeah? Right. First question. Tom Hanks plays a prison guard on the death row wing in which film based on a Stephen King novel? Give that again. Question 1. Tom Hanks plays a prison guard on the death row wing in which film based on a Stephen King novel? Question number 2. What is the name of the eccentric scientist in the Back to the Future films? So that was, what is the name of the eccentric scientist in the Back to the Future films? That's question 2. Question number 3. Miles Morales, Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, Peter B. Parker, Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and what other alternate Spider-Man feature in the Oscar-winning 2018 animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Now, anyone who wants to get a nerdy in the comment section here, do not mention the post-credit scene. I'm talking about the actual film itself. Yeah. So, as I can hear Dan grumbling away on the sofa already, I can hear that already. So I'm looking for the Spider-Man or the alternate Spider-Man that I have not listed in that list there. So yeah, basically the full name including the color. Yeah. So that's Miles Morales, Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, Peter B. Parker, Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and what other alternate Spider-Man featured in the Oscar-winning 2018 animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Question number 4. Charlotte in the movie Lost in Translation was the breakthrough lead role for which actress? And those of you grumbling away, I know she did do other films before that, but this was a lead role, a breakthrough lead role for her. We're not going to mention Eight-Legged Freaks. Although that's not a clue. Gemma's looking even more confused now. I'll say that again. Charlotte in the movie Lost in Translation was the breakthrough lead role for which actress? Question number 4. In Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, who played the role of the Sundance Kid? Say that again. Question number 5. In Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, who played the role of the Sundance Kid? Question number 6. In Love Actually, when Bill Nighy's character, Billy Mack, appeared on live TV with Ant and Dec, he defaced a picture of a boy band saying, "We've got little pricks." What boy band was it? I'll say that again. In Love Actually, when Bill Nighy's character, Billy Mack, appeared on live TV with Ant and Dec, he defaced a picture of a boy band saying, "We've got little pricks." What boy band was it? Question number 7. Malcolm McDowell plays Alex, an ultraviolet gang leader with Ludwig van... I'll say that again. Malcolm McDowell plays Alex, an ultraviolet gang leader obsessed with Ludwig van Beethoven. In what movie? Say that again without fluffing it. Question number 7. Malcolm McDowell plays Alex, an ultraviolet gang leader obsessed with Ludwig van Beethoven. In what movie? And yes, it's the full names, Stefan, it's the full names you want. So it's the full name of the people, the full names of the films, not just the colour. We want the full names of everything here. And question number 8. Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman star in what 2000 film directed by Baz Luhrmann? Question number 8 again. Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman star in what 2001 film directed by Baz Luhrmann? Question number 9. Who is the writer-director with credits including the Lethal Weapon films, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, and The Last Action Hero? I'll repeat that one more last time. So question number 9. Who is the writer-director with credits including the Lethal Weapon films, which he wrote, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which he wrote and directed, Iron Man 3, which he wrote and directed, and The Last Action Hero? which I think he wrote and directed as well. He also did Nice Guys as well, which actually I should have included on that list. Great film, which I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Put that on your isolation watch list. Nice Guys is a really good film, also written and directed by the same guy. And finally, question number 10. In The Matrix, what colour pill did Neo take to stay in Neverland and see how far the rabbit hole goes? Nice 50-50 one here for you. Say that again. In The Matrix, what colour pill did Neo take to stay in Neverland and see how far the rabbit hole goes? Right, so there we go. That's the first 3 rounds there. Little brief. I'm now going to go through the answers. So make sure you've sent all your answers to your friends so you can all mark each other's answers if you're playing along with each other. Right, so going back to the first round, which was opening scene. Now, opening scene was obviously the movie quotes. I'm going to spare you my my rendition of that again, and I gladly didn't do the Scottish accent either. But that "choose life, choose a job, choose a career" was a quote from Renton's character, played by Ewan McGregor in Trainspotting. So yeah, that was the opening quote. Quite an iconic opening to a film there, and based on the play, which was incredible. I went to see that with my parents, I think it was a year or 2 ago, and I didn't realise that the character of Renton actually was basically, well, sorry, the character of Sick Boy didn't actually exist in the play, and Sick Boy was a separate character after the guy that played it in the original then ended up go on to play Sick Boy. So that was a character that was basically created afterwards by when they rewrote it for the actual film. But anyway, the second one, which was it all began on New Year's Day in my 32nd year of being single. Once again, I found myself on my own and going to my mother's annual turkey curry buffet. That was Renee Zellweger in Bridget Jones's Diary. Question 3. There was a clue in the wording at the very end there, and I'm going to be specific with the sequel number here as well. If you haven't got that, so it's 3 billion human lives ended on August 29th, 1997. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. That was Sarah Connor in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. And number 4, did you know there are more people with genius IQs living in China than there are people of any kind living in the United States? That was Jesse Eisenberg playing the role of Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network. And that's why I mentioned to George, I'm not sure if that is true, because obviously the amount of fake news that there is on Facebook, you don't know, it kind of goes around there, doesn't it? Question 5. What came first, the music or the misery? There is a great, obviously, breakup film / film about music. It's a love letter to music, but also breakups as well. That was Rob Gordon, played by John Cusack in High Fidelity. Question 6. I was tempted to start shouting that quite loud, but then I didn't. And that was I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. That was Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, played by R. Lee Ermey in Full Metal Jacket, the Stanley Kubrick directed film, the war film. So it's kind of the film split into 2. So you've got the training sequence at the top, which is probably my favorite part of the film. The opening part of that whole film is so good, so dark and so intense. It's incredible. Possibly, one of my favorite parts of a war film. And then question 7, that's actually not a spoken line of dialogue. It's scrolling text. Well, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away isn't scrolling, but the part that follows is. I will allow just Star Wars on this question, as when it was originally released, it was just Star Wars. And if you are being kind of like, want to get some extra points in, it was episode 4, A New Hope. But they did change that title sequence after they did the recut, and they added in episode 4, A New Hope, into that scrolling text at the top afterwards if you want to get really nerdy about it. So I will allow just Star Wars. But there we go. Next up, we have question number 8, I do believe. Yep. My name is Turkish. Funny name for an Englishman, I know. That was basically how I might look in a few weeks when I shave my head. That was Jason Statham in playing the role of Turkish in Snatch. And question 9. Once upon a time in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. That was the narrator from Beauty and the Beast. No, that's definitely the opening lines from the original animated version by Disney. I'm not sure if it's also the opening lines of the remake. I have not watched that. Probably is. It should be. I don't really bother with these new remakes. I've seen Lion King. Lion King's good. And finally, 10. There's 100,000 streets in this city. You don't need to know the route. That is the opening line of Drive by the driver played by Ryan Gosling. And if you didn't get that, I'm wearing the jacket. I tried to give you some hints. I'm wearing the clothes. If you didn't get that, then obviously my performance was terrible, and it was worse than a Tesco's value version of Ryan Gosling. It's more like an Aldi value version. But anyway, we'll move on. Right, so round 2, which was the usual suspects. So that was the character round, the list of characters. So we had Sean Archer, Tony Manero, Vincent Vega, Danny Zuko, and Bolt. They were all played by John Travolta. Sean Archer was in Face Off. Tony Manero was from Saturday Night Fever. Vincent Vega was from Pulp Fiction. Danny Zuko was from Grease. And Bolt was from Bolt. He played Bolt in that film. There we go. He voiced that character. Question 2. Mystique and Raven, Mother, Katniss Everdeen, Joy, and Tiffany Maxwell were played by Jennifer Lawrence. She played Mystique and Raven in the X-Men films, First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix. Mother was the Mother film by Darren Aronofsky. Katniss Everdeen was from the Hunger Games films, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. And Joy was in Joy, a David O. Russell film. Her many collaborations with him, and the other being her other role that I mentioned, which was Tiffany Maxwell in Silver Linings Playbook. Next up, we had P.T. Burnham. Sorry, no, my apologies. Number 3, sorry, was John Roof, Snake Plissken, R.J. McReady, Jack Burton, and Mr. Nobody. That was Kurt Russell. John Roof was in The Hateful Eight. Snake Plissken was in Escape from New York and Escape from LA. R.J. McReady was from The Thing. Jack Burton was from Big Trouble in Little China. And Mr. Nobody, is also known as Frank Petty, was from the Fast and the Furious films, which he played in, which ones did he play in? Fury 7 and The Fate of the Furious. Question 4, P.T. Burnham, Kelly Dover, Logan, Jean Valjean, and Van Helsing. That was Hugh Jackman. He played the role of P.T. Burnham in The Greatest Showman. Keller Dover was in The Prisoners, which should be on your isolation watch list. If you haven't seen it, it's a great thriller. If you're into thrillers and you haven't seen it, The Prisoners should be on your to watch list. And then we had Logan, which was Logan, aka Wolverine from the X-Men films. And also Logan, which is Incredible, which was an incredible performance by him. Then we had Jean Valjean, which was Les Miserables. And finally, Van Helsing was Van Helsing. Right. So that was Hugh Jackman to number 4. Number 5. The answer to that was Kate Winslet. So she played the role of Marianne Dashwood in Sense and Sensibility. She played the role of Rose, also known as Rose Derwit Bukater at the top of the film, but then it says on, spoiler alert, but she's Rose Dawson as well. And that's in Titanic. She plays the role of Hannah Schmidt in The Reader, which she won an Oscar for. She played the role of April Wheeler in Revolutionary Road. and also she played the role of Clementine Krasinski in she was playing that with Jim Carrey, and that was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Question 6, the answer was Samuel L. Jackson. Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass, was in Unbreakable and Glass, which was the third part of that trilogy. He played the role of John Shaft in the Shaft films. A bit of fun knowledge about that. So Richard Roundtree is the original guy that played Shaft, and then Samuel L. Jackson then reprised the role later on in almost like a reboot. And there's only 6 years difference between them. So even though he played him in the reboot, it's only 6 years difference. So Richard Roundtree is only 6 years older. Samuel L. Jackson is 71 years old. He's going to turn 72 this year. He played the role of Mace Windu in the Star Wars films, episodes 1 to 3. He was Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he played the role of Stephen in Django Unchained, which was an incredible role by him. Great performance. Number 7 was Tom Hanks. So question number 7 was Tom Hanks. So he played Robert Langdon in the Dan Brown trilogy of directed by Ron Howard, which was The Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno. He played the roles of who else? What was the other questions? Where are we? Yes, he played the role of Richard Phillips, aka Captain Richard Phillips, in Captain Phillips. He played Chuck Noland in Castaway. He played Sam Baldwin in Sleepless in Seattle, and he played Captain Miller in Saving Private Ryan. Question 8 was Leonardo DiCaprio. So Leonardo DiCaprio played Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. He played Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby. He played Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street. He played Howard Hughes in The Aviator, and he played Hugh Glass in the role that won him the Oscar, which was The Revenant. So there we go. Question 9 was Benedict Cumberbatch. So he played Khan in the Star Trek movie Star Trek Into Darkness. He played Alan Turing in The Imitation Game. He played the Grinch in The Grinch. He played Smaug, and he also played the Necromancer in that film as well, in the Hobbit films, in The Unexpected Journey and the Desolation of Smaug, and The Battle of Five Armies. And he also played the role of Dr. Stephen Strange in Doctor Strange and the other Marvel films that followed that as well. Finally, question 10 was Adam Sandler. So he played Howard Ratner in Uncut Gems, which is currently on Netflix. I personally prefer the director's previous film before that, Good Time, which I thought was awesome. I thought Uncut Gems was a little bit overrated, but Good Time I felt was an incredible thrill ride of a drama. It was incredible. But moving on, Adam Sandler played Billy Madison in Billy Madison. He played Robbie Hart in The Wedding Singer. He played Barry Egan in Punch Drunk Love. And finally, he played Happy Gilmore in Happy Gilmore. So now let's move on to the Reservoir Dogs round, where every one is named after a colour. So, well done. We've got 10 out of 10 in that last round. People are doing well. Do put your scores in the comment section just so we can keep track of how people are doing. It's a few 10 out of 10s this week. Danny got a 10 out of 10 in the first round. He's got, 15 out of 20 now. Doing not too bad. Well done. Do put your comments in the comment section. Do let your friends know how you're doing. Round 3. So the Tom Hanks film where he plays a prison guard on the death row wing on a film based on the novel by Stephen King. That was The Green Mile. So that's question number 1 of round 3, The Green Mile. Question 2, the name of the eccentric scientist from the Back to the Future films. Great Scott! It's Dr. Emmett Brown. I'd also accept Doc Brown as well. So you can either write Dr. Emmett Brown if you want to kind of like boast your mate, I've got his full name, or you could have just written Doc Brown. I'll accept both. Question number 3 was the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse round. The one Spider-Man that I didn't mention was Spider-Man Noir, played by Nick Cage. Nicolas Cage. Yeah. No, I'll only accept Noir. You must have written Spider-Man Noir because he comes from the Noir universe. Question number 4. Charlotte in the movie Lost in Translation was the breakout role for which lead actress? It was Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson, that was her breakout. She, like I mentioned before, she was in Eight-Legged Freaks before that, but that wasn't her a lead character before then. She was in loads of other roles as supporting cast member, but that was her first proper lead role. And it was what made her huge after that. Question number 5. In Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, who played the role of the Sundance Kid? That was Robert Redford. Robert Redford, after obviously, since then, he's obviously gone on to launch the Sundance Film Festival, obviously named after his character. So he runs the Sundance Film Festival. And then in the UK, we don't have Sun, so we have the Raindance Film Festival. Moving on to question 6. In Love Actually, when Bill Nye's character Billy Mack appeared on live TV with Ant and Dec, he defaced a picture of Blue. It's the boy band Blue. Question number 7. Malcolm McDowell plays the role of Alex in A Clockwork Orange. Question number 8. Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman star in the 2001 film directed by Baz Luhrmann, that is Moulin Rouge. Yes, well done, those of you who can speak French. Oh, Charles has seen Blue live. One love. There we go. Who was the writer-director with credits including the Lethal Weapon films, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, and Last Action Hero? This was the tricky one of the rounds. Well done if you got it. That was Shane Black. He's known for his love of Christmas films, so he kind of like always kind of tries to weave Christmas as the time of year when a lot of his films are happening. So even if when you watch Nice Guy as well, there's some sort of Christmas theme in there, whether it's Christmas and there's decorations background. He always has like a Christmas theme in a lot of his films. And question 10, that was a 50-50 question, that one. The colour of the pill that Neo takes, it was red. Took the red pill. If he took the blue pill, he would have gone back to what he believed was reality, and he was not. And he would not have seen how far the rabbit hole goes. Okay then. Right, so that's the end of round 3. Well done, everyone. Put your scores in the comment section. Let us know how you're doing. Mark put Redgrave, not Redford. That's almost as bad as my Dennis instead of Dustin last week. It's not as bad as one of the funniest comments I saw last week. Not the funniest. The second funniest comment I saw last week was instead of writing Gary Oldman, we had a Gary Coleman instead of last week. So that was quite funny. 32 with a Joker. Very good. Yeah. 32 out of 40. Very good there. 32, I think, is at the lead score so far. James, 37, some big scores coming in here. So Dan and Jess currently in the lead with 37. James family currently in second place with 32. That's looking good. Well done, everyone. Oh, some great scores here. General Too Strong. Who's General Too Strong? What's your first name so I can refer to you by your first name, General Too Strong? Or who's in your team? Let me know who your team is. Give them a shout out. So I can know who I'm talking to here. Oh, my mum's on 14 points. Don't worry, mum. Don't worry. Okay, right. Moving on to round 4. Now, round 4 is, I've called this round, Stay Home, Save Lives, Protect the NHS. Now, this round is a reminder to everyone of how important staying home really is. We watch war films and see great people from previous generations fighting for their lives so our generation can have the luxury and freedom to do what we do now. But currently, our generation is faced with the most testing time that we'll probably witness in our lifetime. And we won't have to step in any battlefields or jump out of any planes to do so. Today, to save lives, all we have to do is stay home. Now, the sacrifice that we're paying for this is not seeing our loved ones, our parents, our siblings, our children, our grandparents, our nieces and nephews, our cousins and our best friends, and it's tough. And that's why I made this quiz, everyone. So hopefully it can bring people together and bring back some joy, reminding us of a time when we could do things like go to the cinema and sit in a dark room and not talk to each other. I've had some great feedback from when I've been doing this quiz, and it's been really, really great. So thank you for all the comments and nice comments I've had about doing this. It's brought people together, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, because we could just sit at home and just watch films. But if we have a quiz, we can, there's a nice little comment section here. We can Zoom people, we can chat to people. It's a great way of staying in touch. It's brought people closer together. And it's made us feel like we're almost having a house party all over again. So thank you so much, everyone, for actually tuning in and playing. It means a lot. And I've had great comments from people who I haven't been in touch with for years, like from university and from school, and it's been great to kind of like chat to them again. It's kind of brought us all close together in a time when we're so far apart. So thank you so much, everyone. Right. So yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. So yeah, we all have our cinema buddies that we go to cinema with. So hopefully you're playing along tonight with your cinema buddies and you're having good fun with them. I know you can't go to cinema with them at the moment, but hopefully you're having fun with them. Right. So right now, this round, all the questions in this round are to do with staying home and isolation. Now they may be set in one room or they may be set in one location. Think outside the box in this one. They're all to do with isolation. So just think about that because that's what the theme is on this round. Right. Anyone who wants to play their Joker card, play their Joker card now. So play your Joker card now if you want to play your Joker card. Right. Cool. So I'll give you a 5-second countdown. Cool. So we're about to start round 4. Lorraine playing her Joker card. Here we go. Question 1. What Christopher Columbus directed movie is about an 8-year-old troublemaker who is left to defend his family home from burglars when he misses a Christmas vacation? Question 1 again. What Chris Columbus directed movie is about an 8-year-old troublemaker who is left to defend his family home from burglars when he misses a Christmas vacation? Question number 2. James Stewart and Grace Kelly star in what Hitchcock directed thriller where a wheel-bound photographer spies on his neighbors from his apartment window and becomes convinced that one of them has committed a murder? Again, so question 2 was James Stewart and Grace Kelly star in what Hitchcock directed thriller where a wheel-bound photographer spies on his neighbors from his apartment window and becomes convinced that one of them has committed a murder? Question number 3. Aquaman, I'll say that again because I mumbled it. Aquaman and Furious 7 director James Wan's breakthrough film features 2 strangers who wake up handcuffed in a room with no recollection of how they got there and are then tormented by a sadistic serial killer who likes to play a game. But what is the name of the serial killer? So I'm not after the name of the film. I'm after the name of the serial killer, which was one of the later sequels, but we'll get to that. So Aquaman and Furious 7 director James Wan's breakthrough film features 2 strangers who wake up handcuffed in a room with no recollection of how they got there and are then tormented by a sadistic serial killer who likes to play a game. What is the name of the serial killer? The name he uses, Stefan. Yeah, I'll mention these boys, we want the nickname, the alias that he uses. That also is the name of the sequel of the films, of one of the films that comes later. Right. So, question number 4: Who stars in the Ridley Scott directed film The Martian, where an astronaut finds himself stranded on Mars when his team have left him for dead? Question number 4: Who stars in the Ridley Scott directed film The Martian, where an astronaut finds himself stranded on Mars when his team have left him for dead? Question number 5. What is the name of the 2019 sequel to the isolation classic, The Shining? Let's read the comment section here. Is there a dispute with the scores here somewhere? Right. I'll repeat question 5 again. So what is the name of the 2019 sequel to the isolation classic, The Shining? Question number 6. Last year's critically acclaimed isolation drama, The Lighthouse, stars 2 characters who are both called Thomas, cooped up in a remote lighthouse in isolation. They spend their time drinking, farting, and dreaming about mermaids. The film stars Robert Pattinson and what other actor? Repeat question 6 again. Last year's critically acclaimed isolation drama, The Lighthouse, stars 2 characters who are both called Thomas, cooped up in a remote lighthouse in isolation. They spend their time drinking, farting, and dreaming about mermaids. The film stars Robert Pattinson and what other actor? Lead actor, I should say. There are other minor parts in there, and dropping them off there and whatnot. But I'm looking for the other person in isolation with him in that lighthouse. Question number 7. Brie Larson won an Oscar for her performance in what 2015 movie where she is held captive in an enclosed space for 7 years? That was question number 7. Question number 7 again. Brie Larson won an Oscar for her performance in what 2015 movie where she is held captive in an enclosed space for 7 years? Question number 8. When Tom Hanks's character Chuck Noland becomes deserted on an island in Castaway, he forms an unlikely bond with a bull called Wilson. Now I'm after what type of ball sport was that ball used for? Question number 8 again. When Tom Hanks's character Chuck Noland becomes deserted on an island in Castaway, he forms an unlikely bond with a bull called Wilson. What type of ball sport was the ball that Wilson is used to play with? Question number 9. The David Fincher film, the David Fincher thriller Panic Room stars Jodie Foster in the lead role, but what future star plays her daughter? Question 9 again. The David Fincher thriller Panic Room stars Jodie Foster in the lead role, but what future star plays her daughter? And finally, question 10. The Disney film Tangled sees a princess locked away in a tower for 18 years before she is rescued. What is the name of the Disney princess? Question 10 again. The Disney film Tangled sees a princess locked away in a tower for 18 years before she is rescued. What is the name of the Disney princess in that film? All right, so that's the end of round 4. So we'll move on to round 5 now. Now, round 5 is the final round. So if you have not played your Joker card, you have to play it now. So play your Jokers if you have yet to play them. Give you a couple of seconds. What's going on here? Yeah, they're all working out general 2 strong scores. Right, cool. Right, so moving on to round 5. So this round is called Roll Credits. This is the final round, everyone. Whee! So in this round, I'll list a number of films. Your job is to decide whose credits they are. Now, this could be an actor, a director, or even a composer. They are all movie legends. Yeah. So firstly, there's a few things this year. First, you've got to work out what's the link between them. And then you've got to work out who they are. So there's a couple of things here to do. So are you all ready, everyone? Okay, Roll credits. Here we go. First question. So I'm going to list a couple of films, and you've got to tell me the actor, director, or even the composer who is the link between this. So the one person, there's one person who's a link between all of these. I hope there's no other strange sound recordist who's also the other link as well. But anyway, we'll get into that later. Right, so question one. Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kung Fu Panda, and The Bone Collector. Question one again was Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kung Fu Panda, and The Bone Collector. Question number two. Some iconic films here. Get ready if you love your 80s films. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, 16 Candles, and The Breakfast Club. So Anna, you've got to tell me the person who is the link between all of these films. The one person who is the link. So it could be an actor, it could be a director, or it could even be a composer. You've got to work that out. They're all movie legends. Every single one here is a legend. Yeah. Question number three. Now listen carefully to these. And don't just go by the first two that I mentioned. Jurassic Park, Home Alone, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Or if you're playing in the US, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Jaws and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'll repeat those again. Jurassic Park, Home Alone, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Jaws, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Remember, this could be an actor, a director, or even a composer. Question number four. Fences, American Gangster, Malcolm X, Man on Fire, and Flight. Question four again was Fences, American Gangster, Malcolm X, Man on Fire, and Flight. Gonna unzip this. One of the hottest days of the year. I've got a jacket zipped up indoors. What's going on? Oh. Right. Question number five. Moonstruck, Burlesque, The Witches of Eastwick, Mermaids, and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Question five again was Moonstruck, Burlesque, The Witches of Eastwick, Mermaids, and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Question number six. Summerstown, A Room for Romeo Brass, Dead Man's Shoes, 24/7, and This Is England. Question number six again. Summerstown, A Room for Romeo Brass, Dead Man's Shoes, 24/7, and This Is England. That was question six. Question seven. No Country for Old Men, Sicario, The Goonies, Avengers Infinity War, and Old Boy, the remake, not the original. The Spike Lee joint, that one. Question seven again was No Country for Old Men, Sicario, The Goonies, Avengers Infinity War, and Old Boy. Again, I think that's another role that Will Smith turned down. Right. Question number eight. Modern Times, Limelight, City Lights, Monsieur Verdoux, and The Great Dictator. Excuse my French. I'll try that again. Question number 8 was Modern Times, Limelight, City Lights, Monsieur Verdoux, and The Great Dictator. Question number 9. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Donnie Brasco, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Sleepy Hollow. Question 9 again. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Donnie Brasco, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Sleepy Hollow. And finally, question number 10, last question of the quiz. Point Break, Detroit, Hurt Locker, K-19, the Widowmaker, and Zero Dark 30. Say number 10 again. Point Break, Detroit, Hurt Locker, K-19, the Widowmaker, and Zero Dark 30. Quickly recap that round again. So question number 1 was Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kung Fu Panda and the Bone Collector. Question number 2 was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, 16 Candles and the Breakfast Club. Question 3 was Jurassic Park, Home Alone, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Jaws and Raiders of the Lost Ark. 4 was Fences, American Gangster, Malcolm X, Man on Fire and Flight. Number 8 was Moonstruck, Burlesque, The Witches of Eastwick, Mermaids, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Question 6 was Summerstown, A Room for Romeo Bros, Dead Man's Shoes, 24/7, and This Is England. 7 was No Country for Old Men, Sicario, The Goonies, Avengers Infinity War, and Old Boy. Question number 8 was Modern Times, Limelight, City Lights, Monsieur Verdoux, and The Great Dictator. Question number 9 was A Nightmare on Elm Street, Sweeney Todd, Donnie Brasco, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Sleepy Hollow. And finally, question 10 was Point Break, Detroit, Hurt Locker, K-19, Widowmaker, and Zero Dark 30. There we go, everyone. So that's the end of the quiz. Well done, everyone. Give yourself a round of applause. Nice. Right. So here we go, everyone. Right, here we go. If you haven't got a drink, get one. Get a little refill, maybe. Get 2 on the go. Here we go. It is Friday, everyone. Remember, it is our party night, everyone. So here we go. So I'm going to recap the questions now for. If you want to have a little quick break, you can. I'm going to quickly read through the comments of what's been going on whilst I've been there. So if you want to go to the loo, if you want to grab a drink, go for it now. So here we go. We've got Here's Johnny. Yeah, that was a little bit of a. Well, I want to give away. It wasn't George. He wasn't giving away the answers there because The Shining was Here's Johnny. That's what that line's from. So it was. We're talking about the sequel that happened last year, which wasn't that one there. So it wasn't really a giveaway there. Here we go. Joker, nice. Rain, here we go. Yeah, good stuff. Right, good quiz. Thank you very much, Charles. There we go. Right, here we go. So, misheard movie titles. Country Panda. Yeah, you're not the only person. Last week. Okay, I know I do mumble my words sometimes, Jamie, but here we go. So last week, probably one of the funniest answers to one of the questions I saw. Someone misheard in the movie quote round. My question, which was roads, where are we going? We don't need roads. Maybe it was my accent, but I don't know. It's probably one of the most iconic lines in film history, in my opinion, from Back to the Future. But I won't name names, but the person thought I said, Rose, where we're going, we don't need Rose. And they wrote the Titanic. So if you think of that in context, where the end of the film is the little old lady on the end of the ship, Rose, where we're going, we don't need Rose. You could just imagine the little old lady dropping in the ocean at the end, which is incredibly bleak. So there we go. So yeah, sorry if I do mispronounce things, but yeah, there we go. Right. So question number 4 was the stay home, protect the NHS round. So here we go. So good luck, everyone. Hopefully you're back at your computers and you're here for the questions now, everyone. Right, here we go. Right. So, round 4, question 1. So I was after the Christopher Columbus directed movie about an 8-year-old troublemaker who is left home to defend his family home and defend the burglars around the Christmas vacation. That was Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. There we go, Home Alone. Classic film. And that question is for Lauren, who does love a Christmas film in the wrong time of year. So that question is for you, Lauren. There we go. Question number 2. James Stewart, or Jimmy Stewart, whatever you want to call him, and Princess Grace Kelly star in what Hitchcock-directed thriller where a will-bound photographer spies on his neighbours from an apartment window and becomes convinced that one of them has committed a murder? That was Rear Window, the Hitchcock film. That was. So Rear Window was the answer to number 2. Question 3. So James Wan, he directed the Saw franchise. So he directed the Saw films. That was kind of his breakout role. He started off in horror films and then has obviously gone on to do Aquaman recently and the Furious 7 films. So he's gone on to do like huge, big films. But he did start quite humbly in the Saw films, which started as a really good short film. And then he went on to direct the Saw film, which then became a huge, massive franchise. And the killer, the serial killer in those films, so that was all set in one room, that film. So hopefully your isolation isn't going that bad. But the serial killer is called Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the name of serial killer. You could have written John Kramer, but Jigsaw was the name that I was after. There we go. Jigsaw was the name I was after. And hopefully you've been playing lots of jigsaws when you've been in isolation. I've got 2 in the post. One of them's hopefully arriving this week. So there we go. Right. Maybe that's where that idea for that film came from. Maybe he was in isolation, came up with the idea for Saw and thought, well, what can I call this? I've been playing lots of jigsaws. And that's how he came up with the idea. Anyway, moving on. So question 4. Who stars in the Ridley Scott directed film The Martian? That was Matt Damon. That was Matt Damon, if you haven't got the answer. Question number 5. That was the name of the sequel to The Shining that came out last year. That was starring Ewan McGregor. And the film is Dr. Sleep. And he plays like the grown-up boy from that film, Dan Torrance, when he's grown up. It's the follow-on sequel about the kid afterwards. So it's a good film. I really enjoyed it. And a fun fact I have about that film, which I found out about when I was on IMDb. So the guy who plays the role of the Jack Nicholson character, Jack Torrance, is actually played by a grown-up version of the boy from the E.T. films. Yeah, so the boy from the E.T. film, the guy that played Jack Torrance, aka Jack Nicholson's character, is actually played by the boy from the E.T. film. Crazy when you watch it. But anyway, moving on. So, where are we? Question number 6. So last year's critically acclaimed drama, The Lighthouse, stars Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. Question number 7. Brie Larson won an Oscar for her performance in Room. And I will only accept Room, not The Room. The Room is obviously one of the most critically acclaimed films ever made, featuring Tommy Wiseau. If you have not seen The Room, then I hope that you wait until you're out of isolation. You go to the Prince Charles Cinema and you carry a bag of plastic spoons with you and you go and watch that film, because it is an experience worth going to and I highly recommend it. So then moving on. Question number 8 it was the castaway question regarding Wilson. So what type of ball sport was he used for? Wilson is actually a volleyball. There we go. Spoons. Yeah. If you're throwing your spoons at the TV now, good stuff. All right, nice one. So moving on to question number 9. So David Fincher thriller Panic Room stars Jodie Foster in the lead role, and her daughter was played by Kristen Stewart. Before she went on to do the films with Robert Pattinson. Why has that gone out of my brain? Why can't I remember it? Gemma, throw it my way. Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart film, Twilight films. Yeah, before she went on to the Twilight films, she obviously did Panic Room. All right. And finally, question number 10 of round 4. The Disney film Tangled sees a princess locked away in a tower for 18 years before she is rescued. The name of the princess in that film is Rapunzel. Rapunzel obviously being the the princess who grows her hair really long so the prince can then come and save her. But fun fact about that film. So obviously that film sees Rapunzel locked in a tower for 18 years before she's rescued. Can anyone guess the name of the town or the name of the kingdom where she lives, locked up in? It's the Kingdom of Corona. No lie, you can look this up. Rapunzel gets locked up in a tower in the Kingdom of Corona. This is not even a joke. But anyway, so there we go. Moving on. So yeah, so it was Rapunzel for that one. Yeah, good stuff. Yes, well done, General Too Strong. Good stuff. Hey, little photo of me. Yeah. Oh, very nice stuff. Cool. Right, and finally in round 5. So how's everyone doing scores wise? Danny got 10 out of 10 on that one. Well done. Good stuff. Right. So final round. Here we go, everyone. So I'm looking for the link of the actor, director, or composer who was the link between all these films that I mentioned. So here we go. So Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kung Fu Panda, and The Bone Collector. Well, she played the role of the tigress, I think it was, in Kung Fu Panda. That was Angelina Jolie. Question number 1. Question number 2. I was looking for the director of these films because the link here was the director. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, 16 Candles, and The Breakfast Club were all directed and written by John Hughes, who then went on to produce and write as well, Home Alone, which is the next question. So, question number 3. Jurassic Park, Home Alone, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Jaws and Raiders of the Lost Ark were all scored by John Williams, probably one of the most iconic composers in Hollywood cinema, doing most of the Steven Spielberg films. I had to be careful with what films I included here because obviously some films like Home Alone or some of the films may have included like Spielberg as an exec producer or something. So I have to be careful with which ones to put here. But yeah, there we go. And I did mention as well, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was released as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the US because in the US they felt that no one would buy a book about a philosopher because it was seems too smart and highbrow for people in America. So they changed the name to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. True story. Moving on. Question 4. So we had Fences, American Gangster, Malcolm X, Man on Fire, and Flight. There's so many more roles that I could have mentioned there as well, other films that I could have mentioned there, like Training Day, for example. That was Denzel Washington. It's been in so many great films, you know, The Equalizer, you know, lots of great action films there. But there we go. Yeah, so we've got a few John Williams fans in the house. Here we go. So moving on to question number 5, Moonstruck, which I think she won an Oscar for that film, actually. Burlesque, The Witches of Eastwick, Mermaids, and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, was Cher. Cher was the link between all those films. She starred in each one of those. And yeah, she won an Oscar for her performance in Moonstruck. Question number 6. I haven't put that many British film kind of questions in there, so any UK film questions. So I thought I'd best throw one in there because I was writing this one today. I was like, oh, I haven't put any UK film questions in there really. So here we go. So Somerstown, A Room for Romeo Brass, Dead Man's Shoes, 24/7, and This Is England are all directed by Mark's favourite director, Shane Meadows. And question number 7. No Country for Old Men, Sicario, The Goonies, Avengers Infinity War, and Old Boy all star the same actor. In The Goonies, he was obviously the older brother. In Thanos, he went like that. And Jamie just lost half of his viewers. That was Josh Brolin. Okay, then. What were the films for question 1 again? Sorry, Stefan. Question 1 was Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kung Fu Panda, and The Bone Collector was question 1, Stefan. So moving on to question number 8, Modern Times, Limelight, City Lights, Marshall Verdu, and The Great Dictator, star directed by Charlie Chaplin. Question number 9, A Nightmare on Elm Street. He was very young in this role, one of his breakout roles. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Donnie Brasco, which plays the lead role. Stephen, he plays the lead role in all these, let's be honest. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and Sleepy Hollow. The 2 giveaway films must have been the Tim Burton directed films. That was Johnny Depp. And finally, question number 10. Point Break, Detroit, which was recommended me by Danny. I still haven't watched it, so that's still on my watch list. Don't worry, Danny. Hurt Locker, which she won the Oscar for. K-19, The Widowmaker, and Zero Dark 30 were all directed by Catherine Bigelow. There we go. Gemma's smiling because she got that one, I think. No, you heard me talking about her earlier as well. Anyway, so there. So quick recap of that. So 1 was Angelina Jolie, 2 was John Hughes, 3 was John Williams, 4 was Denzel Washington, 4 was Cher, 6 was Shane Meadows, 7 was Josh Brolin, 8 was Charlie Chaplin, 9 was Johnny Depp, and 10 was Catherine Bigelow. Right, add up your scores, everyone. Yes, it was James Cameron's ex-wife. Yeah, so and James Cameron also kind of like exec produced some of her early films as well, actually. And yeah, they still get on really well. They still talk and whatnot. I remember, I think they were both when he did Avatar. I think that was the same year when I think Avatar and Hurt Locker came out in the same year, and Hurt Locker beat Avatar at the Oscars. I may be mistaken, Mark, but I'm pretty sure that was the same year. Actually, they were both nominated. Cool. So yeah, Stefan got 43 good scores there. So remember, this is out of 60. So everyone's got some good scores here. Here we go. Lorraine 28. Well done, Lorraine. Here we go. There we go. What have we got here? Put them on these comments. So we got so Andrew and Emma Brody got 46. Emily, sorry, Andrew and Emily got 46. Who we've got here? 42. We've got the James family 44. Here we go. James family in the lead. Oh, here we got Beauty and the Feast. Here we go. Dan and Jess 54. Well done. Oh, Dan and Jess might have won this week. Dan and Jess might have won. And I thank you for joining us this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Donna got 37. Well done. Good score. Good score. C.B. Kennedy got 38. Well done. General 2, Sean got one more than whatever George got. Stephen Atlee got 35. Yeah, Dan and Jess did get 54. I'd imagine they have. There was quite a few horror skewing questions there. And if you click on Beauty and the Feast channel, you'll obviously see their kind of content. They both make horror films and also review street food and local eats. Good channel worth checking out there. Oh, we've got more people playing on that team though. So Mikey, Elsa, and Jamie, the Quarantinos. Well done. So it was a good team there. So it was Dan, Jess, Mikey, and Elsa, and Jamie, the Quarantinos. Well done. So I think that there we have a winner. We have a winner. So Dan, Jess, Mikey, Elsa, and Jamie are the winners with 54. In second place, I think, hang on, let's go. Is it Charles in 46? Is Charles second place? What's the James from 44? So we've got 44 there. So I think the James family are in. The James family came third with 44 points. Do we have any other higher scores in anything else over there? No? So well done. So James family, you came third. Well done. So in
Andrew and Emily came second with 46.
Andrew and Emily came joint second with 46. So Andrew and Emily came joint second with 46 with Charles Bruford. Well done. And yeah, the Quarantinos came first this week. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing along. As I mentioned before, I think next week I might start a bit earlier at 7 o'clock. Follow the Facebook page, the Lock-In Pub on Facebook to find out more details, or you can follow me on Jamie Fisher TV on Instagram, and I'll be updating on there when it will be next week. But tune in to Beat the Chasers, which is starting on Monday. Going to be stripped across the week from 9 o'clock. Please do watch that. It's going to be good stuff. And thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And hopefully you've all had fun. I'm going to take a while to just scroll through your messages and the WhatsApp groups for what all your funny answers were, and hopefully I'll put some good stuff on the Instagram page. But yeah, do tag me in any funny answers that you had on Jamie Fisher TV on Instagram, and I'll post some of the funny ones on Instagram. And thank you again so much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been great. I'll see you next Friday. I think 7 o'clock. I'll keep you updated on the social media channels for what time it is, but don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll put the updates on there as well. So hit subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Jamie Fisher TV, or follow the Facebook page, The Lock-In Pub, to find out more details. Thanks again, everyone. Cheers for tuning in. I'll see you next week.